Did you guys have a good Christmas? Anybody get anything good? That's what it's really all about, right? I mean, what?
Okay, we got.
Huh?
Our big thing in our house is a robot named Dinky.
You got a robot named Dinky.
It's like a Roomba, but it's called the Dinky because it's half the price.
Really?
And it's incredible.
Does it clean?
Oh, it is. It goes everywhere. It goes
Really?
Everywhere. It's so smart. Yeah.
Wow.
It has like a 2.5-inch clearance, so under all the couches and furniture, like our
Dinky the robot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Alice is kind of terrified of it.
Your daughter's terrified of it?
Yes.
Oh. Well, you can use that as a,
She just doesn't want it to eat any of her toys.
Yeah.
So every time she likes it until she drops a puzzle piece on the ground and Dinky's working. That's when she'll think that he's somehow going to fly across.
It's a good disciplinary thing, If you don't quiet down, I'll get Dinky out here, and then anybody else get anything good, or I mean, it's hard to beat a Dinky, but nothing. What? Let me ask you this: what do you, in your life, not just in Christmas, what do you cherish? That's a word we don't hear very often. And there's what do you cherish? Family? Can anyone top that? What are some things in your life that you cherish?
Nature.
Huh? What'd you say?
Nature also.
Nature?
Quiet downtime.
Quiet downtime. Kind of what we're experiencing here. What about you guys? Friends? That's good because she's right there. So, anybody else? Health? What about you guys? What do you cherish?
Yes, we talked a little bit about that a week or so ago, but memory.
Memory.
Because without memory, I've been spending a lot of time around elderly people lately.
Oh, yeah.
And the loss of memory, it's the loss of relationship, it can be.
Mm-hmm.
It's your own history and the history of those around you. It's something we take for granted.
Yeah.
And it's, but as you start to lose it,
Memory. To be able to remember things. That's a good topic. As a matter of fact, if we were to remember the things in our lives, I think most of us had enough years in our lives that we can look back and remember the things that have been important in our lives. As we walk back the years of our lives, there are always certain things that stand out. And then there's those things that don't. But there's those things that we thought would stand out, the things that we thought were important at the time. And then after you get some distance between that thing, you realize that it wasn't that important. Imagine all the things that we freaked out about, that we totally went dramatic about, that we thought we were just going to stress and fight over and everything, that as time goes, it doesn't seem that important anymore. There's even been wars like that. I was watching something about, I'm really a boring guy. And on Christmas, I YouTubed the Queen's speech in the UK. And I know, and I watched the Queen's speech. And she was talking about the things in history that, one of the things she mentioned was the World War II. And to commemorate an anniversary, she was there with the leader of Germany. And so even things like that, where it was so traumatic at the time, that you can actually have time pass and become almost friends at the end of it. Kind of remarkable, really, just that passage of time. The things that we think are so important, sometimes we have to reevaluate. I'm very comforted that the people that said that the things that were important to you were truly things that were meaningful. Jesus was, we've been doing a series in Luke, And Jesus, you ever build enough energy up? You go to a thing like a movie or something like that, or a concert, and you just get your juices all flowing there, and you just are so excited. Like you go to a movie about something where it makes you go through several different emotions, and you walk out just either feeling really good or really bad. I remember I saw Rocky 3, and I just wanted to go out and kick butt. And I didn't because, I'm built like this. So it's, that would have been a short-lived thing. But you know how you get energized like that. And sometimes you go and you hear people, or you go to shows and concerts, and you just get all pumped up. You ever seen people at like any kind of musical concert? People get, really into it. Well, kind of that's what happened when Jesus was around. He had such a captivating way of communication that a lot of people got caught up into it while he was talking. He would tell these stories. He would talk with authority, and he would capture people. He was a fantastic storyteller. And people were getting so excited about him. It was amazing to watch him. When I talk about preaching with authority, this is something that people did not do at the time, for example. Like if you were to say, may God bless you and your family today. You would say it that way, much like we do today. But even if you were a religious leader, you would say, may God bless you, or I hope that God blesses you and your family. Jesus came to town and he actually said, God bless you and your family. You are blessed. He would actually speak with this authority, and that really impressed people, but it also scared people. But when he would talk, people wanted more of what he had. They would see him heal people. They would see him tell these stories. They would see him walk through town. And before he even got into a town, people were gathering around, the curious, the people that wanted to hear what he was all about, to hear this authority thing, to see maybe a miracle, but to hear these stories of this good news stuff. They were really impressed with it. And some people got caught up in the fervor. Fervor? That's a word. I don't think I've ever used that word in my life, but that's what they did. They got caught up in the fervor. And one of these guys was a young guy. And he came running up to Jesus. And he said, tell me what I need to do to inherit the kingdom of heaven. Whatever I need to do, I will do. And Jesus said, well, you know the commandments. Honor thy father and mother. And the guy said, yeah, I followed all of the commandments. And Jesus said, okay, because this was a rich guy. He said, all right. Sell everything that you've got and give that money to the poor. And then come follow me. And suddenly that energy, that excitement, diminished. And he was taken aback a little bit. And he thought, sell everything that I have? Those are the things I cherish. And he couldn't do it. He walked away. And as he's walking away, Jesus is pointing him out to his disciples. And he says it's easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than it is for a rich person to go through heaven, because they will never know it. Now, a lot of people, they look at this as, this would be a total bummer. I'm telling you to sell your dinky or whatever it is, Yeah, but a lot of people will use this thing as a thing of, that materialism isn't important and all of this kind of stuff. But I think we miss a point here. I'd like to twist this just a tiny bit, if you don't mind. Jesus was in this. He often gets a bad rap of being this really judgmental person. This person that tells people that heaven and forgiveness is actually a conditional thing. And we can look at this and we can see Jesus really pointing it out to him. We hear that tone, that judgmental tone. He'll never make it to heaven. He's a big, rich dork, then he's not going to know anything. What if we change the tone just a little bit to sadness? What if as the person was walking away, inside Jesus almost was in grief, saying, he's not going to know what true joy is. He's not going to experience, because that's what heaven is. It's the presence of God. It's joy. It's eternal joy. It's eternal presence with God. What if Jesus is saying he's never going to totally realize that he doesn't need all that stuff? Now, this does not say that we are to give away everything. There are people that have a lot, that do a lot. I'm never going to tell you that if you come here with a nice car, I'm never going to try to make you feel guilty of that, unless I want it. Then I'm going to tell you, that you should be giving it to your pastor. That's what pastors do, right? I need a boat. I need a jet. I think the message that Jesus was trying to tell us then was the greatest gift that we have. The greatest gift that surrounds us, the greatest gift that we have is the presence of love in our lives. The greatest thing that we could ever achieve is to be loved. And the greatest gift we could ever give is our love. You could be rich. You could be poor. You could be destitute. You could be in a third world country and a first world country. And no one in any circumstance can take you away from you. They can injure you. They can abuse you. They can really mess you up. But every single one of us, I believe, inside has a soul. And I believe that soul, the thing that connects us with God, is a yearning to be loved. And the thing that connects us with our neighbor is a yearning to love. I hope that in this new year that we look around us and we cherish what we have. And what we have is ourselves. A lot of times we talk about that we should cherish the people around us, things around us, what you've done in your life, all of this kind of stuff. Have you ever stopped to thank God for you? Have you ever stopped and thanked God for who you are? And have you ever taken the moment to cherish that? The rich kid that turned away from Jesus felt defined by the things that were around him, what he had. He could not lose that because that was his security in life. But imagine what the world would be like if we knew, no matter what we had or what we didn't have, that we knew that the thing that made us whole, the thing that made us secure, were truly the things that we are. Not what we have, but what we are. The soul inside of us, the direct communication and link with God. I I wonder if we would have some less chance of wars. I wonder if we would achieve more. I wonder if some of the things that we think are so important would diminish. This year, we are putting a lot of emphasis, you're going to see a lot of emphasis on television and stuff about politicians. I'm not here to say one thing or another, but you're going to see news stations saying that this guy or this girl or this person or this thing, and that they're going to build them up as the person that's going to fix it. I'm not real old. I say that because you and I are the same age. You're old, but I'm not old. I've never seen a politician save the world. But I've seen people make change. I've seen people reach out and help other people, regardless of who's in charge. That's who we are. We don't need to wait for the politicians to get elected. We don't need to wait for people to come in and save the planet. We can do that by offering the world the gift of our honest self, to love. May we do that in the coming year.